So, any questions? Okay, please.
Good evening, Luboš Vestavel from EY. I would like to ask a question which is perhaps not related to forecast, but is very important for the market in general. And the question relates to the funding structure of the market with the deleveraging and increased requirements for the capital on the bank side and requirements for the insurance market as well to reduce their, or to balance better their exposures with the duration of their liabilities. How do you see the development of, or how do you see the role of capital markets stepping in to the role of the market instead of the banks and institutional money, and development of capital market in general in this region?
Well, I believe the role of capital market and sort of non-bank financing will be increasing, but I'm not I would not expect it to move too far, too fast. There is a culture, there is a client relationship within banks. Some banks, I believe, behaved definitely after initial quarters of the crisis. Some banks were keeping up with their clients, and I don't think the clients will abandon the banks for the beautiness of capital markets so eagerly. So I think there is a way to go, but relatively speaking, I would not expect a jump. That's a fair summary.
Thank you.
Another question?
I just have a quick one. What are the total euro proceeds from the intervention, and how are they being invested?
Well, you can read it in official statistics. We bought about 7 billion of euros in the initial days of intervention. That's it. We have relatively conservative, as you would expect, portfolio of bonds, so sort of kind of robust, good sovereign bonds. Plus, we have 10% of portfolio in indices, in major indices. So that's essentially where the money went.
And sorry, the bonds are bonds denominated in euros or dollars?
Both euros, dollars. We sort of widened even the currency zones during the crisis. So you would find us being invested a little bit in Australia, a little bit in Canada, a little bit in Sweden, and I'm not sure if that's about it. We do not. No. My problem is that we announce this sort of figures once in a year in our annual report, not to sort of move the market or to provide some kind of misleading indications or signals to the. So I'm trying to tell you what is in our last year annual report. Yeah?
Matěj Turek, Meridon Funds. There is an ongoing discussion in the financial press almost every day on the robotization and on the developments in the work labor productivity. Is this also part of your discussions as governors and with governors?
Well, about robotization and. Well, if you ask me whether I am afraid of being substituted by a robot, I'm not that much, given my term ends in mid-2016, yeah, and this is my last possible term. Did you have anything in particular?
Not necessarily that, but it is seen as a long-term deflationary pressure, the increasing labor productivity.
I see. Now I see. Well. Honestly, I believe this sort of beneficiary deflationary periods are associated with increased investment. Yeah? That's if you take a look on current European picture, you find deflation here, or you would find deflation here for sure. Greece, Bulgaria, and I believe Cyprus. I find it a little bit difficult for a common sense to believe those are the areas of high technological progress and productivity growth. And in our case in particular, the investments have been falling quite dramatically last 2 years, which in my opinion bodes quite quite badly to the theory that we are witnessing a high technological progress growth associated with this sort of deflationary phenomena. And I'm trying to be polite.
May I?
Yeah, sure, please.
Really, Novak. Most of the graph that you showed showed a recovery in a short run, and then again a fairly steep decline. What are the main forces for why you predict a decline? Thanks.
Well, essentially, it's a base effect. So we are we are not overly optimistic on general growth in Europe, and a little bit of what we gain next year will be sort of year-on-year lost in 2015. But saying this, it's still quite a net gain of both of intervention and both of this. Plus, I must say, you see, our models are sort of short-term oriented, because we know we will have another forecast in a quarter of a year. So what you see at the end is also pushed by simple return to long-term equilibrium numbers in the model. So there are two phenomena that, in a sense, if you would take a look on any our model, you would find that in a long term there's always a 2% inflation, because this is where the equilibrium of expectations and everything is, which doesn't really mean that we believe that if we would do nothing, there would be always a return to this kind of lovely realm, because I believe the current financial theory knows something about multiple equilibriums and practice of some countries, quite a long-term practice of some countries, shown also that that's the fact of life. Does it cover your question? Yeah. Any more questions? Well, that was a short one this year. Well, whatever. Fine. So thank you for your question, especially, and thank you for your attention and ability to keep up with me.